Have you ever wondered how Denzel Curry is able to achieve a grimy, distorted, lo-fi sound in his latest album? It sounds rough around the edges, and this feeling of edginess gives you energy and contributes to the feeling of losing control of yourself. Which is why the album has so many bangers that you know will cause mosh pits during his live shows. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to achieve this in any door of your choice. But first, so that you can understand why this sound is so unique, let me introduce you to the rap group that influenced Denzel Curry. They're called 3 6 Mafia. Originating from Memphis, Tennessee, they began making music in the early 1990s. They stood out for their dark, eerie production that had haunting melodies, ominous synthesizers, and heavy bass lines. Their debut album, Mystic Styles, was released in 1995, and during this time, a lot of music in the industry was recorded to tape. In fact, the use of tape recording was used in the music industry until at least the mid-2000s. To understand the significance of this, we first must understand how music was recorded to tape. In its simplest terms, tape consists of mylar and iron oxide. During recording, the tape machine head exerts a charge on the tape which polarizes the iron oxide to capture the signal. It's in this process where interesting byproducts occur which directly influences the sound of the recording. Basically, it adds color, softens the attack on the musical notes, thickens up the low frequency range, and it can also produce a nice distortion to the sound. As the hood calls it, tape warmth. This contributed to 3 6 Mafia's music sounding so grimy. Well, it's because in King of the Mischievous South Volume 2, the album literally starts off with the sound of a cassette player. And I don't think this is a coincidence. So now that you know the reason why 3 6 Mafia's music had so much grit to it, how do we apply this to make beats for Denzel Curry?
What you think I brought the strap for? A new chain, I got.
To start, you're going to want to create a beat that has haunting melodies and heavy bass lines. To create haunting melodies, it's really simple. You want to use a lot of half steps in your melodies. Listen carefully to the melody when it goes over these half steps. It's really eerie sounding because it creates a lot of dissonance. This is what my beat sounds like at the moment. With the main beat out of the way, it's now time for us to achieve the same grit that 3 6 Mafia popularized in their music. But to do that, we need to record to tape. I don't know about you, but buying a tape recorder is pretty expensive, so we're gonna settle for the next best thing. We're gonna use tape emulation plugins. There are a lot of paid and free ones, but I personally have J37, which is a recreation of the Abbey Road J37, which is a legendary machine. But there are many other paid and free ones, so I'm just gonna name a few. Elephant has tape. This is only for Ableton though, but it is free. And Softude's tape. Kalem Audio has Tape Cassette 2. This is also free. And last but not least, IK Multimedia has Tape Machine 80. This is paid, but I've seen some really good reviews of it. Drop your tape emulator onto the master channel. Play around with the settings on your tape emulator. For the J37, you want to select tape formula 888 and 7.5 inches for speed. The real fun comes from the saturation knob here in the J37. You can crank it up to add more saturation to the track like so. This is what my beat sounds like right now. You now know how to make beats for Denzel Curry, but if you mix your tracks poorly, what you've just learned in this video will be for nothing because your track might still sound like absolute garbage. And if you don't know how to mix your tracks, you should watch this video next to learn. I'll see you there.